The underground is not a place. It is not a basement. It is not beneath a city. The underground is a dark pit a human being digs inside their own mind. And while digging this pit, the human being trusts most in their own reason. But reason does not always save a person. Sometimes it is the very thing that buries them deepest. Notes from Underground is not the story of a chain of events, but the story of a consciousness tearing itself apart. There is no murder in this novel, no revolution, no great catastrophe. Yet a human being slowly disintegrates from the inside, and sometimes the greatest disaster in the silent one. Because silent disasters do not produce resistance, they produce habit. Before us stands a narrator without even a name. This is no coincidence, because a name is the first identity society gives to a person. The underground man has rejected this identity. He is a former civil servant. He has fled the state, withdrawn from society, distanced himself from people. But he has not escaped himself. He is lonely, resentful, and most importantly, excessively conscious. In the very first sentence he says, "I am a sick man," but this sickness is not in the body. It is the sickness of excessive thinking, the loss of control of consciousness. The underground man knows he is sick, but he does not want to be cured, because this sickness gives him something, a sense of superiority. Suffering to him is a depth ordinary people can never reach. The underground man takes pride in his intellect. He is intelligent, analytical. He sees everything, calculates every possibility. But this intellect does not free him. On the contrary, it paralyzes him. Because whatever he does, he thinks first, then thinks again, then thinks once more, and in the end, he does nothing. Life for him is a perpetually postponed action. Here Dostoyevsky says something very clearly. An excess of reason does not move a person forward, it stops them. The underground man explains his immobility, not with laziness, but with consciousness. And for this reason he sees himself above other people. Because to him the person who acts is the person who does not think. The underground man despises the idea that humans can be happy through logic alone. Because in this view a purely rational human being becomes obedient, calculable, predictable. In other words, a machine. 2 + 2 = 4. But for the underground man, this is the truly terrifying part. Because if everything is predetermined, where does freedom remain? Dostoevsky here does not attack reason itself, but the idolization of reason. If a human being is reduced to an equation, they cease to be a human. This is why the underground man says a human being may deliberately harm himself simply to prove that he is free. This sentence is a direct challenge to the entire idea of modern progress, because here, pain is not a mistake, pain is a choice. And Dostoevsky asks an extremely dangerous question. When a human acts against their own interests, are they stupid or are they declaring their freedom? This question disturbs not when it is answered, but when it is asked. The underground man also despises the idea of progress. He does not believe humanity is improving. He does not believe science, reason, or formulas will save humanity. Because to him, even when happiness is promised, a human being may deliberately sabotage it, just to be able to say, "This is who I am." What makes humans dangerous is not evil. It is unpredictability. And the underground man defends exactly this, because an unpredictable human cannot be controlled. The underground man hates society, but when he is alone, he suffers. He runs from people, yet he craves their approval. He humiliates himself, yet inwardly believes he is superior. This contradiction is his punishment, because it never ends. This is the underground, the place you want to escape, you cannot live. The other characters in the novel are not independent individuals. They are broken surface through which the underground man touches society. Each one reminds him of something, and every reminder hurts. His former schoolmates are successful, orderly, integrated into society. They are not special, and precisely for this reason, they are dangerous. The underground man despises them, hates them internally, yet he still joins them, because sometimes a human wants to belong to the very life they despise, One evening, he goes to dinner with his former classmates. He does not want to go. He should not go. He says many times that he will not go, but he goes. At the table, he feels humiliated, ignored, belittled. Yet he cannot stand up and leave, because sometimes a human being is dependent on what they hate. This scene is deeply disturbing, because here victimhood is not accidental, it is consciously chosen. Zikerkov is a deliberately chosen figure. He is not very intelligent, not very deep, but he has been promoted. He is respected, approved by society. The underground man's true hatred is directed here. Because Zikerkov represents this, you can succeed without being deep. This truth drives the underground man to madness. And then we meet Lisa. Lisa is a prostitute. Yes, she is one of the poorest characters in the novel. The underground man delivers a long speech to her. He lectures her, explains how empty her life is. But this speech is not for Lisa. It is the dumping for his inner hatred onto another body. Then suddenly he wants to save her. But this mercy is not genuine. It is a desire to assert superiority. The underground man does not want to save Lisa. He wants to make her indebted to him. Because when you leave someone grateful, you gain power over them. But things go wrong. Lisa actually comes. And at that moment, the underground man panics. Because someone has seen him without a mask. His real fear is not loneliness. His real fear is being understood. Because when someone truly understands you, you have nowhere left to hide. And the underground man cannot face this. Lisa is his mirror, and he cannot endure his own reflection. So he pushes her away, humiliates her, tries to silence her with money, and then he is alone again. The underground man constantly mocks himself. He undermines his own thoughts, minimizes his own pain. But this irony is not a shield. It is a controlled blow directed at himself. Because when a person mocks themselves, they strike first before others can. But every blow leaves a mark. Time does not move in the underground man's life. The past is constantly recalled. The future never arrives. Everything exists at once. That is why he is never truly living. The underground is timelessness, and a timeless human decays. This is why the underground is not only a state of consciousness, but a prison of time. The underground man writes, because in real life he controls nothing, but in writing he can distort sentences, argue with the reader, deny what he himself has said. This is his last domain of power. But when the writing ends, the underground remains. The underground man belongs to the 19th century, but his voice is today. Today humans also think too much, analyze endlessly, yet remain motionless. The underground is no longer an exception. It is a norm. Here, the novel is merciless. It shows us this. A human does not always want to be happy. Sometimes a human wants to be right. Sometimes to feel superior. Sometimes to suffer. Because pain still makes a human feel alive. The underground man chooses not happiness, but intensity. News from underground does not comfort us, does not motivate us, does not offer a way out. It does only one thing. It locks a human in the same room with their own consciousness, and decay is consciousness itself. But not every key opens a door. Sometimes it only tightens the lock, and it asks these questions. If this is free will, if consciousness is this heavy, if reason does not save us, does humanity truly want to move forward, or does it choose to remain underground? Perhaps what Dostoyevsky is really saying this: the underground is not a place we escape from. The underground is where we are gradually becoming. And sometimes the most honest sentence is this: I'm a sick man. Because until a human accepts this, they cannot live anywhere. If this video stayed with you somewhere, if even a single sentence made you stop and think, if it made you feel that you are not alone. To keep these kinds of videos coming, Liking the video, leaving your thoughts in the comments, and sharing it is enough for us to continue this journey together. If you don't want to miss these moments of confrontation, subscribe, because this place is for those who can't run away from themselves. If you are here, it means we are asking the same questions. You can also follow me on my social media accounts. Take very good care of yourself. See you.